Man, this is really a one of a kind device. The ROG Matrix 5090 is here. It's new. It's limited. These are exclusive cards. They're definitely collector's items. And not only is it a collector's item, but it is a 30th anniversary collector's item celebrating 30 years of making graphics cards. I'm like being so careful with this thing because it is larger than a normal 5090, and is it all metal? I think it's all metal. There's like no plastic except for the fans, and there's glass on it. Thing is a tank. Eric, do you
This
happen to
tank,
know? I'm putting you on the spot here, and no problem if you don't know it. Do you know the
put
weight
me on
of
the
this
spot.
device?
Oh, the exact weight? Not offhand, I'm sorry.
You got to guess?
Um, uh,
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm putting you on the spot, like I said.
kilograms. I'm actually just reflecting, we're talking about this like 30 years. You look back at what graphics cards were like 30 years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, it didn't even have a fan on it. Like the first fan we put on there was this, little like stubby little guy. And you look at the engineering that goes into the cooling system for the Matrix, and it's just astounding what went into it.
it's truly just a very impressive device. Let me actually just do the top down camera. I'm afraid of doing something terrible and dropping this thing
Chat's
because
worried that you're going to get fired if you drop that.
I mean they're rightfully worried because well, I've done foolish things like that before. Not on stream. But anyways, this is indeed the Matrix 5090, and I don't have another graphics card for scale, but we of course have a mouse for scale, which just started blinking red and wants me to charge it. That's okay. We have an ROG Xbox, or this is an LAX, not an Xbox LAX. That's just a regular LAX, but they're about the same size, or even just like an Xbox controller for scale. But I guess looking at this angle, it's hard to appreciate the actual size because really, it's thick. This is a very dense, very large, very powerful graphics card. And there's not really anything like it in the world.
Absolutely. Like as we dig into the details right here, I think just the one of the kind nature of the Matrix is just astounding. Like there's nothing truly comparable on the market to it right now.
Yeah, no,
And the
it's
size is really just the start. It's what the size really enables it to do.
for the extra cooling, the extra headroom, and the amount of power that this thing can pull. So let's talk about everything about this card and what makes it what it is. So this card was built for overclocking, right? This is an enthusiast's dream when it comes to being able to push the most out of the best chip out there, right? So the 5090, this is an RTX 5090 inside of it, and you can really push it all the way. Now, recently we did a show where I built a new PC and I built a BTF, so a back to front connector build where you have all of your connectors on the back of the PC. One of the benefits of that is the fact that you have a back to front connector for the power going into the graphics card. This allows for a beautiful, seamless display of your PC where there are actually no cables visible. And I've always kind of found, like, especially when you have the cable coming out of the graphics card and maybe you've got a liquid cooled CPU and maybe you've got a few other cables in there. I'm like, well, what's the best way to route these things? And with my build right now, there's like nothing to route at all. I'll get a camera on it a little bit later. But man, it's just so interesting at what they were able to do with this. So give me 1 second. I gotta find here we go. So let's take a look at this. This is that's the back connect that you would actually put on the back of your motherboard, and then that's the normal 16-pin connector that you put on the graphics card normally. Now with the Astral, you only use this back connect on the motherboard right there. You plug in your standard power connector for your graphics card, but it's on the motherboard. And then if I hide this here, you're actually getting all of your power draw right in on these the BTF connector on the Matrix. With the Astral, that's all you use. With the Matrix, it's capable of taking advantage of both that BTF connector and the standard 16 pin connector, allowing you to get up to 800 watts of performance, which is pretty special.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just nothing else does that. I One thing that I love about the arrangement is the way that it balances the power draw across those two connectors. You know, as you go into GPU tweak and check out like what's the per pin amperage that I'm seeing right now, you'll see that like in normal operation, like those pins individually are seeing a bit less work. Like it's
Which is really
that
cool.
balance across the connectors is lovely.
Yeah, you can. It's actually kind of nice too because if you use GPU Tweak 3, you like you mentioned, we have this kind of like a little graph you can look at of how much power is being drawn on each pin. And it actually gives you two separate tabs, one for the BTF connector and then one for the 16 pin connector that you can just tab between when using this card specifically, which is a rather unique thing about it. I don't want to forget to mention this, but there is one other little thing. Since we did design this card for extreme overclocking, it actually supports overclocking with liquid nitrogen, and it even has an integrated memory defroster feature that helps you avoid any kind of like freeze or memory freeze. And that's pretty special, I think.
Oh yeah, and absolutely. Like this is built top to bottom for those kind of extreme scenarios in mind. I mean, it starts just with the chip inside.
Mm.
This is not just a 5090. These are the highest binned 5090 chips that we had access to, and you combine that with all of the things we're doing with cooling, you know, liquid metal providing that really efficient thermal transfer away from the chip, the copper vapor chamber instead of your usual heat sink, that signature quad fan design. Like there's just so much in here that we could nerd out about.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that make this unique. The matrix styling there on the side as well. I think that looks really cool. That kind of mirror display. And obviously this is actually got it's red in style. So you really kind of want to aim for an all red build the way I did here when I had it in my PC last week. Obviously, I have it on my desk right now. I don't have two of these. That's not a live feed. Don't get too excited, chat. Um, all right. So, you just talked about kind of like some of the cool things like the Power Detector Plus within our software, GPU Tweak 3. Another neat little feature that is on this card and coming to Astral graphics cards in the near future is this level sense feature. So, my Hyperion actually has a bracket to help stabilize any kind of graphics card and make sure it's nice and level. But, a lot of these graphics cards nowadays are getting bigger, heavier, and this is going to help you kind of like warn you, like say, hey, your graphics card is actually sagging. It's a little bit off kilter, and it gives you this nice little indication. And you can kind of even alter the variables. It has a default of 30, and you could change it to 40 or 50 if you want to. If you want to give it more leeway, you can choose to do that. It's going to give you the flexibility, but it's just a nice little fail safe added into these cards, and that's what it's all about, right? We've got these power detector pins. Now we've got a level sense pin. We're just trying to help you basically take care of your investment and give you every extra bit of redundancy that we can through the form of software and sensors built into these cards.
Absolutely. You know, I want folks to feel good about this purchase. You know, I want them to feel good about this is going to go to the distance. This is going to give me the experience that I'm looking for. I love these little things baked into GPU Tweak that give for that kind of peace of mind. That matters a lot to me, just as on my own personal
Oh,
rigs.
100%, 100%. And it goes beyond that too. It's not even just in GPU tweak. We actually have a little red light that'll appear right where the 16 pin connector is. So if you have a standard Astral card, that little red light will turn on if there's any abnormalities. And that abnormality could even like notify you before you turn the PC on that your pins are not fully inserted, right? So that's just kind of like a notice, like, hey, this red light's only there because you have not fully inserted your pins. But also if there is an abnormality in the power draw, it's gonna flash at you as well, which is again just nice little safety features all built into this. All right, give me 1 second. Move this guy from my desk as I go back to my mouse and keyboard. Did we? I'm trying to think if we missed anything on this beast of a graphics card other than the fact that it can draw up to 800 watts of power, which means it's going to need a good companion in terms of a power supply.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, The 5090 class cards, the recommended PSU starts at 1200 watts. And you've got some great options in that series. I really like the ROG Strix Platinum line that we launched this year. Great things happening there. If you are going to push this thing, and hey, if you have a Matrix, I sincerely hope that you push this thing at least once or twice.
That's kind of the point.
Then you will want to be looking at a 1600-watt line. And for that, the ROG Thor 1600-watt titanium is definitely your premier choice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually have a Thor 1600 watt. It's kind of an older generation, a couple years old. But that's what I used for testing with this machine. And I think my total system usage might have spiked around 1200, right? It was like just below 1200, but it's always nice to have a little bit of extra headroom because you never know. Granted, I probably could have done more rigorous things that could have pushed it even higher than that, but that was without me doing any manual extreme overclocking, which we have some um, companions on the internet like Jabauer that are going to go absolutely nuts with, right? And if you're spending, and investing in a card like this, you're probably going to be a little bit more overclock heavy, I feel, than me, who I'm just a steward of this beautiful graphics card for another couple of days. And then I'm sending it off to a professional builder who's going to make something really beautiful with it.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun. And yeah, and I don't. I'm sure I've ranted to you before about power supplies. I'm always encouraging folks to really try to live in that peak efficiency point of the curve. And a lot of times that means making sure that you have enough juice, that you don't need all of it all the time.
Yeah, yeah, very true. Cool, guys. Well, that's going to do it for our main topic today. But as always, this is just one segment in our show. If you want to check out the full stream, tune in every Thursday live at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific.